What is up, YouTube? It's Dead Guy Cardboard. It has been a minute, more like a couple months since I uploaded a video. I've just been really busy. I moved recently. I moved from Brooklyn into Manhattan. I've been in Brooklyn for nearly 9 years, and I just wanted to change the scenery. You know, quarantine can do that to you. So I moved to the Upper West Side. I'm really close to the park. Got a new puppy, so I've just been busy with things, and also just jumped back into a full-time job. I've been freelancing the last couple years, but wanted to do full-time again. Anyway, I got some really interesting pickups last couple months. Just sort of do it in random order. I can't remember where I got this card, one of the auction houses, but this is a Lionel Carter card. If you haven't seen my Lionel Carter video, definitely check it out. I'll put it in the link below. But this is from his collection. I'll put in the timestamp too, where you can find this card in that video. But in case you haven't seen the video or don't know who Lionel Carter is or was, he was really a pioneer in the hobby. He was good friends with Jefferson Burdick. And Jefferson Burdick was the man responsible for cataloging all the cards. I mean, he was responsible for naming the T206 set, the T206 set. And Carter was his good friend and one of the OGs in terms of writing about baseball cards. And I have another one of his cards from the sets, this Johnny Clean card. But Lionel Carter was known for picking up cards with just outstanding eye appeal, and he just kept them in these albums, and they never saw a light of day. So a lot of these old cards just have like pack fresh color. Lionel Carter wasn't collecting cards in 1910. He started collecting cards, I believe, in the 33 DeLong set. But the cards he collected prior to those years, he paid close attention to getting cards of great eye appeal. I love this card. One of my favorite poses from the sets. I think this is my highest graded T206 card. I have a lot of T206 cards. Okay, this is a pretty big purchase. This is the 33 Gaudy Jimmie Foxx, number 29. He has two cards from the sets, same exact pose. I can't remember what the other one is. I think it's like 126. But this is the quote-unquote short printed version. The cards earlier in the sets, they didn't make as many, supposedly. And but I wanted to pick up this card, even though I think right now card prices are very inflated. I think it's still worth picking up cards that are tough to find with great eye appeal, and this is one of them. I've been tracking this card for a long time for my 500 Home Run Club sets. It's a PSA set, so I might eventually cross this over, but this is a pretty good example. Tough to find these cards well centered, and this is fairly well centered. Got some round corners, but I don't mind. The color could be a little better, but overall it's a pretty sharp card. It's got some transfer on the back too, but this card will definitely hold me over for now. And I think people are starting to appreciate Jimmie Foxx more, and his cards going up in value, as they should, because he was one of the all-time greats. Hopefully you guys can hear me. It's just so much construction going on behind me. Then I picked up this bad boy. This is normally I would show Barry Larkin cards in the 90s insert videos, but this is not a 90s insert. This is actually Barry Larkin's toughest rookie card to find in high condition. There are no PSA 10s of this card. I don't think there's not even any PSA 9s of this card. So technically this is the highest graded copy between SUC and PSA. I think there's an 8.5 in PSA. But these cards are tough to grade because of the red borders, and they came in a little like cello packs that were handed out in baseball stadiums. But I remember these cards as a kid. I don't remember it from '87, but I remember from the '90s. Pass these out at Cincinnati Reds games. The con set. This is pretty iconic oddball sets. A lot of big time cards throughout the years. Frank Robinson has his true rookie card from the con sets in '56. There's some basketball cards like Oscar Robertson and Wilt Chamberlain. This is really a fun oddball set. And I think this actually would cross over to a PSA 9. I mean, the corners are very sharp on this card. Who knows what I'll do with it, though. But a lot of collectors, a lot of Barry Larkin collectors are after this card. And if any Barry Larkin collectors are watching, hit me up. I love the chat. I know there's some other Barry Larkin super collectors out there, but I don't have your contacts. At least beyond the Facebook group. Okay, this one. This is just an example of, you know, how long it's been since I posted a pickup video. I picked this card up, and while this is being shipped to me, he tore his pectoral muscle doing that ridiculously stupid attempt of stealing a home run ball during spring training. I don't know what this card's worth now, but I'm sure it's a lot less than when I bought it. But now could be a good time to pick up Eloy Jimenez's cards. I still think this guy has a lot of power, a lot of potential, because he has a lot of power. Reminds me a lot of Frank Thomas, and he's still pretty young. And the White Sox are going to be good for years to come. But man, he makes some pretty boneheaded plays in the outfield. Let's show this bad boy. This is a huge pickup. This is a car I just got a few days ago. This is the Tito 6 Nap Lajoie Portrait. A highly collectible card from the set. I have had many cards of this, versions of this card over the years. I have an SGC 4.5 of this card, which I'll sell. It's a great card, but it's a little off-centered, and I fell in love with the color and registration on this version. And the centering's really nice. I mean, it's got some round corners, but I don't mind. When I'm buying Tito 6s, I'm more concerned about the centering and just the eye appeal of the card and the color rather than the corners. And this is outstanding. You can even see his lipstick. It's from the 150 series. Typically 150 cards, subject cards, tend to have better color because it's just earlier on in the print run. Not always, but it's often the case. But this particular portrait card is really tough to find with great eye appeal. Something about the yellow background Tito 6s are hard. You know, the Walter Johnson, the Addy Joss. There's just a lot of fading with those yellow cards. But this has some really vibrant colors. So happy to upgrade this card. And this is now going to go towards my 3000 Hit Club set, the PSA set. And then I picked up this card. I don't think I've shown this card before. I picked this card up actually in the off season because Jesse Winker has been showing a lot of promise. He showed a lot of promise last season and even the year prior. And of course now he's having a great year. I mean, he's in conversation to maybe win MVP. He's just crushing the ball. Has a lot of patience. And this is his first Bowman Chrome auto. So still a pretty cheap card. I mean, if you're a Reds fan or just a fan of good players, you know, I don't think he'll make the Hall of Fame or anything like that. But and then just in the background, it's fun to watch these three just crushing it. Would love to get a Vlad card. I don't have any Vlad Guerrero Jr. cards, at least graded. I actually saw this guy play a couple weeks ago at a Mets game. I went with Brian B. Roth. You know, he's a Mets fan. I'm a Reds fan, but I love rooting for the Padres. The last couple years, I've just watched them religiously. It's just a fun team to watch. And he hit a grand slam, and then Machado followed it up with another home run. A lot of fun for me, not a lot of fun for Brian, I guess. But it was great hanging out with him and his girlfriend, and I brought my wife along, and good times. It's just so much fun now that things have kind of returned to normalcy. And part of what's taken me so long of uploading videos is it's New York is back, so have some fun outside. Love to get this card graded too. Speaking of Tatis blowing up, the Mother's Day card, which I have shown before, but you know, the way PSA is right now, Who knows when I'll get that graded. Finally, I picked up these Tyler Stevenson cards. I'm pretty big on Tyler Stevenson. I mean, there's a lot going against him. He's a 24-year-old rookie. He's a catcher. Catchers just don't sell well, and he's on a small market team. But I think this guy has a ton of potential. I mean, he's 6'4". He's just built like a big guy, and he reminds me a lot of Juan Soto. He just has a lot of patience at the plate, has a lot of power. He doesn't get a ton of playing time this year because we have a really great catcher. So he's kind of been the backup catcher, and sometimes he'll be moved to first base. But, you know, when he has some more playing time, I think this guy could have some potential. And this is the black out of 70, and I picked up his Bowman Chrome black too. This is out of 35. So if you're a Reds fan, worth picking this guy up. You know, it's still pretty cheap because he's a catcher, but it's been fun watching these Reds this year. A lot of fun. That's it. Stay tuned. I'll definitely be posting some more videos now that I have my place pretty much moved in. I have a new setup. Got this standing desk. Highly recommend standing desks if you're you know, still forced to work from home. That's it. Thanks for watching.